what's good with you guys? It's Jibril, and in this video I'm going to uncover the mental disorder black sellouts possess.
I want to be richer than Jay-Z, my brother, I'm hoping that I will be rich. Isn't so tired of living the way that I live. If I make it, I buy my own crib. They tell me I'm quiet like Gary, I do like a carrot on Sunday, I'm clapping those cheeks. Then my song will repeat, I'll be running the streets in a year that is by my beast. And I be like, all of these people keep hating on me, I'm like, Chris, everybody hates me. Well, I be like, fuck everybody, I never had anyone willing to help but a G. And now I've got
So I believe that black sellouts have Stockholm Syndrome. But before I explain why black sellouts might possibly have Stockholm Syndrome, I want you guys to fathom what Stockholm Syndrome is. So according to Cleveland Clinic, Stockholm Syndrome is a coping mechanism to a captive or abusive situation. People develop positive feelings towards their captors or abusers over time. Since Stockholm Syndrome isn't recognized as a psychological condition, there isn't any actual treatment for it other than talk therapy and/or medication. So the symptoms of Stockholm Syndrome are
positive feelings towards the captor, support of the captor's behavior and the reasoning behind it. The victim begins to perceive their captor's humanity and believes they share the same goals and values. They make little to no effort to escape. A belief in the goodness of the captors as the victims get rewarded, perhaps with less abuse or with life itself. The captors' appeasing behaviors are reinforced. Feelings of pity towards the captors, even believing the captors are the victims themselves, and they may have feelings of wanting to save their abusers.
So the reason why I believe black sellouts have Stockholm Syndrome is because, for one, despite how awfully black people have been mistreated and still mistreated to this day by white people, they are swift to defend and excuse white people's behavior. But if black people were committing the same wrongdoings, they would display a ton of hostility and shun them. And that's because they are selfish. They believe that white people will accept them or will eventually accept them and believe that we are all the same, when the truth is that we are very much different. And the reason why white people will never accept any black person is due to black people being genetically greater and having stronger skin than white people. And that's why white people have an unexplained and unconscious level of hatred for black people. Because white people will never accept the fact that black people are naturally greater than them. So they have black people believe that there is something inherently flawed with their natural hair and their skin as to why white people don't accept black people. But if black people alter how they think and act, or if possible even lighten their skin, then there's a chance that white people will accept them. But that's a fallacy for black people to help white people give them what they want, merely utilizing black people for their self-interest. Black sellouts believe that they can save white people, and so support white people, despite white people barely supporting black people, when the only people that can save white people are themselves. People can only inspire others to change for the better, but you can't save anyone. But considering the fact that white people are so accustomed to acting the way they act, from undergoing the Ice Age to the present day, I don't believe they will ever change their ways, since the traits they naturally harbor, such as callousness, manipulation, dishonesty, mercilessness, and anger, help them survive the Ice Age, as well as help them conquer the world. How can you forgive and sympathize with a group of people that have murdered, raped, and kidnapped millions of your own people, robbed black people's most valuable resources, and to this day keep black people poor, and are still sexually exploiting African children in Africa, but will never support black people or forgive black people whatsoever? Your own people that have been through the worst and need the most support. It doesn't make any sense, and there's no excuse for it. And the reason why we have more black people dealing with this mental illness is due to, one, black people integrating. The only reason why we had black people wanting to integrate during segregation is due to them believing that we would gain an equal opportunity. But ever since we have integrated, black people as a race of people have actually been doing worse. And the only people that have benefited of integration have been white people, due to the majority distributing their money into white-owned businesses. And it's only being made worse with more black children integrating and having to interact with children of different ethnicities that may grow up to like or even love a few black individuals, but will never like, love, or support the black race. Another reason is due to black people not providing any jobs or any methods for other black people to make a living. Because I can guarantee you, if black people were capable of providing jobs for other black people, then we would have less sellouts than we have today, and less black people venturing out of our race. But since we aren't providing any opportunities to make a living, we have to seek out of our race. And the hand that feeds you is the hand that rules. Well, I can guarantee you that, for example, if a lot of these African sellouts were still in Africa, they would never act the way they are acting in these Western societies. But since these Western societies have normalized behaviors such as homosexual acts and degeneracy, and have allowed and even encouraged black people to harm other black people, these black sellouts tend to indulge in such behaviors. Well, I must say that these black sellouts are definitely making their ancestors proud, loving white people and flaunting white people they deem closest to them as if it's a badge of honor, when they wouldn't be loving white people if they were a slave during the transatlantic slave trade, where they would castrate black men, lynch and grape black men, women and children. In my honest opinion, black sellouts have a disgrace and will die without honor and pride. And if we were slaves today, no sellout is fighting for our freedom. Now I believe that black sellouts can be saved from this mental disorder only if they want to be saved. However, I don't believe that should be black people's main objective. Our main objective, in my opinion, should be to gather as much black people as we can that are willing to change black people's situation for the better. As again, the only people that can save you is yourself. And we'll be essentially wasting time if we are trying to save other people that aren't putting any effort in to want to change for the better. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, peace and take care of yourselves. I'm out.